Hello everyone, I wanted to give you guys a quick explanation to this new series before we got started. About 3 weeks ago, I got in touch with a blogger named Kyle. He writes some general stuff about his life, he does some book reviews, and he also writes some things that I very much like, which he calls Monday Mysteries. I really enjoyed his writing, and he has some interesting reads on his blog. So firstly, I would recommend that you guys go to his blog and check out some of his articles. I'll leave the link to his blog in the video description. Kyle stopped writing Monday Mysteries for a while, but he's told me that he will begin writing again soon. So if this video does well, expect to see Monday Mysteries with Kyle every Monday. One final thing to note, this video is short because it's a pilot episode, and I'll be doing much longer videos if you guys do enjoy it. So subscribe, comment, like, and all that good stuff. Enjoy the video. Angikuni is a lake in Nunavut, Canada. In the 1930s, it was the site of a supposed mass disappearance of Inuit or Eskimo people. Though full evidence of the story does not exist, police reports from mounted Canadian police suggest at least some truth in the tale. Joe LaBelle, who was a fur trapper by trade, had often visited the Inuit village that sprang up around Angikuni Lake. No official numbers exist, but stories have claimed up to 2,000 people lived there, though the real figure is likely at most 200. The village had always welcomed those of LaBelle's profession who passed through on occasion, but in 1930, Joe LaBelle found that all the villagers had disappeared. Coming into the village, he called out to the Eskimos, who would normally be busying themselves about their huts. He got no answer. Slowly walking through the village, he saw no signs of anybody at work, and the silence was heavy around him. Near the end of the village, he came across a fire that was smoldering to its embers or gone out, depending on the source. Over it hung a pot of stew that had been blackened from overcooking. One by one, he inspected the huts, expecting to find something terrible inside. Instead, he found nothing. There was no laughter of children or barks of sled dogs. Nobody was left in the village. In one hut, he found a piece of cloth that was being worked over. The needle and thread were still in place, as though somebody had abruptly quit the task and left. LaBelle found no signs of evacuation. All of the guns were still in place, whereas in reality, the Eskimos always kept them by their sides. Boats were still stacked by the lake, unused. LaBelle immediately made contact with the mounted police, who came for further investigation. If what they found is to be believed, the story gets far weirder. At one end of the camp, tied to a tree, they found the snowed-over corpses of several sled dogs. The dogs had died of starvation. Anyone leaving the village would have needed them far too much to leave them to die. Next, they found a dug-up grave, or an empty graveyard by some accounts. It was far too neatly arranged for it to have been an animal. But in Inuit culture, it was hugely forbidden to interfere with burial sites. None of the findings added up. No sign of the Eskimos or their footprints were ever found. They had just disappeared.